keeping. And we should be. So, kind of. Oh, look, Craig's in. Well, that's a miracle.
Surprisingly.
Amazing. And Tyler should be about somewhere. So very well you lot saying hello. I know you're here. It's the rest of them I want turning up. So what we been up to this week, people? Anything good?
No, not much. Stepdaughter and her partner were down Friday night. Went back this afternoon after dinner and went out to a escape room yesterday, which was surprisingly, we all worked quite well together doing it.
What you mean? You didn't hit one of your fellow competitors?
No, there was no arguing, there was no raised voices, and we didn't need that many clues from the people that ran it. So yeah, it was very good.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of fun, mate. To be fair.
And Craig's adult nappies worked.
Yeah. Talking of adult, what have you been up to this week, Tyler?
He's stuttering.
It's the communism coming out. Hey up, Lee.
Hi, Lee.
Yeah, right, Lee.
Earth to Tyler. Come in. Tyler.
Yeah. Tyler's got the wing of death.
Yeah.
The CIA are currently monitoring him.
Could be.
It might be all my jokes about him being a communist.
You'll see it coming back for a flash and see him just getting taken down or tased. Yeah.
No, I need.
Hey up, Free Rider. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, Free Rider.
Oh, Mr.
Good
Dobson.
evening, William.
Hi, William.
No, I went and spent a fortune on coffee earlier this week.
Didn't you just?
Yeah.
Oh.
Between 14 and 16 pound, 250 gram bag of coffee beans. So 42 pounds 20.
We had this discussion, and I'm with you on it. If you're gonna have coffee, you might as well have coffee that you like and enjoy.
Yeah.
All right, it's cost you a few quid. Yeah, well, it's no different to vape juice, is it? You're not going to buy cheap crap. You want stuff that you enjoy. So,
Hey, Lisa. I mean, it is good coffee. Yeah, it has to be said. It is damn good coffee.
Right, Lisa.
So let's try this again.
Thank you, Communist Tyler. Right. I'm waiting for the CIA. I'm waiting for him to burst through the door and just so you disappear off camera. Go on. What have you been up to this week, Mr. Tyler?
Overtime. Honestly, just working nonstop. And then we did a surprise party for my mom's birthday yesterday, which was nice.
Yeah.
So got the whole family out, got to go have dinner. Yeah, just see everybody for a little bit.
Nice.
Cool. William, that's instant coffee still.
Yeah.
We need to move you up to good coffee.
Real coffee.
Hey, I drink what I can get a hold of right now without spending an arm and a leg.
Okay, so yeah, the other day I did spend an arm and a leg on it. It was more for 250 grams than I buy a kilo of my usual beans. But specialist single roast, single source coffees are very expensive.
Yeah. And so you should be, Lisa. They are really good pictures. Really good.
I will have to have a look when the show's over then, Lisa. I am looking forward to seeing them.
She got some really good pictures.
Thing is, I know where she was. I used to go there before it was a wildlife sanctuary.
Before they banned him for hiding in hedges.
Mm-hmm. But here's one, mate.
Yeah, I don't know, William.
I only use 4 different ways of making coffee, and it's very rare I choose instant. Oh, Costa is crap.
Costa's horrible.
William,
if you want to clean yourself out, have a Costa, because that goes right through me.
Costa is not good coffee. It really isn't.
Yeah.
Starbucks is tasteless.
Yeah. Nero's is quite good.
Mm.
If you've got a Nero.
I like Nero's coffee.
If you can find
coffee.
A barista, a decent, like, one-person sort of barista.
Yeah.
That's the sort of places you want to do. That's what, like, that's me just being a coffee snob.
So trust me, over here, there's more Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts than you could ever imagine.
Mm.
And guess which ones I wouldn't be going in?
Both of them.
Correct.
Right.
Don't get me started on that creamer shit that you put in coffee. It just I get
if I had higher quality coffee, I would creamer.
I get that you put normal, what we'll call plain creamer in a coffee. Okay, I get that. Why do I want pumpkin spiced, nut-free, vegan, Brussels sprout flavored creamer in coffee? What was
that horrible one I had that somebody gave me before? That cookie batter stuff or brownie batter coffee. Yeah, I don't want my coffee tasting like a brownie.
That's the one, Lee. There's nothing wrong with that, Lee. A good coffee. If you like a bit, a frothy, creamy coffee, nice bit of coffee, a decent price. Yeah. I just.
Thing is, if I do get a coffee out, I either go to Nero, or if I'm downtown, I go to my mate's coffee shack. All these beans come from the same places I spent a fortune at the other day.
Mm.
Because they're all, it's Baytown coffee.
Yeah.
But what I bought was not the run of the mill.
We should actually get onto the subject we're meant to be talking about, which is the effect. No, the unseen effects of medication that medication has on you. And I sort of preempted this. I'd already decided to do this show with Bill. We decided yesterday we were going to do a show on this. And then last night we ended up on Lee's show. We're talking about like medication and what sort of like if you want medication for something, then you have to take another medication to cure the side effects of that medication, but that doesn't do your stomach lining any good. So you need a medication to take for that, but that's going to cause constipation. So you need to take something for that. By the time you're finished, you've got a cupboard full of medication.
For one issue.
Yeah, it starts with one issue and you end up with like, well, hospitalized usually.
Yeah.
But it is true that medication and some of the medications we have to, all of us, I suppose, really have to take, be it for blood pressures, be it for heart conditions, things like that. And then if you get into the antipsychotics and things like that, they cause problems with the way your system works, and not healthy ones. Really not healthy.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I was warned about it, but I have liver cirrhosis because of medication.
Yep.
20 years ago, when I was first put on it, I was told I was going to have it. It wasn't if I was going to have a problem; it was when.
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
it's that simple.
And like we were talking about earlier, Bill, and this isn't on me taking the Mickey for once. There are certain medications that we have to take for, like antipsychotics, that affect other things. They affect your libido, your sex drive. They affect your function and how you react to people, because they dull you down so much that it does affect you, and it affects how you react to people. And I know Bill's had that trouble where it affects how you react in a relationship, because it does affect you. You become so sanitized and just dead to the world. You just end up not giving a, you know, I don't know if you've had it, Tyler, where you just end up being like a zombie.
Well, especially when I was a teenager, because when I was a teenager, it was, you know, what is it? It's a troubled youth that all of a sudden needs medication now for an issue, which is fine, but they weren't diagnosing me properly. They were just throwing medication after medication, and you know, and hopefully one would stick. You think you're on antipsychotics, bipolar medication, and you're on a different one every 3 months for a couple of years.
Yeah.
By the end of that couple of years, your head is fried.
Yeah,
I mean, you might as well just deal with the bipolar at that point, because it seems easier.
The trouble is, we live in a culture that, especially, you know, America, not hating on America, but the States, we all know, love to give medication before they've really got a proper diagnosis.
Well, Matt, I'm a prime example of that.
Yeah,
I was literally put on medical grade amphetamines because they thought I had narcolepsy when I actually didn't, and I had a blood sugar problem.
Yeah, but they didn't check you for that. I mean, that's like me and Bill sitting here saying, "Oh, we think this is wrong with you. Go and try taking this medication. I mean, that might work." That's not a diagnosis. That's just guessing. That's at least here with the NHS as bad as they can be at times. They tend to try and diagnose you with something before they give you the medication. Which I mean,
over there, they're paying for a lot of it. If it's not a majority, it's a full amount of your medication. Over here, they're getting money out of prescribing me medications.
Exactly.
So they prescribe me 10 medications, and all of a sudden they just got a kickback of how much per medication, because that company is now being used in their, the pharmacy.
I've heard what some of the kickbacks are like in America. Well, what's the kickback? Oh, a new Merc.
Yeah. I mean, it's been you've seen it where they've done these medical programs where they've actually said, such and such a medical company, somebody comes in from there and says, well, if you come with our company and you prescribe our medication, blah, 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 and you can sell X amount, you'll get this amount of money.
Well, yeah, the kickbacks are, you've got these medical reps all over the place doing the same thing because they get a kickback from their company too. We're getting that product pushed out.
And the problem with that is, like you said, you were a teenager when you started with that. So what good is it doing anybody from that age? You're messing with people's whole system. You're messing with their health.
Your head, yeah.
I mean, as it turned out with you, it turned out to be, you had your bipolar, and then it turned out to be your sugar levels were wrong, which you've adjusted yourself with, sort of stopping certain things and helping yourself.
Well, and especially I've learned that, like when my gallbladder went bad, 13, 14 years ago when I was still in high school, and I had to have major surgery, emergency surgery to save my life. You realize you kind of have to.
Yeah.
And then that led with more complications because, that led me down the path of medications for my stomach.
Yeah. It's like, William's saying about naproxen. Naproxen, yeah, that's quite right. They give you naproxen, which is meant to be to help with joint pain. And then while they're giving you that, they give you lamprazole or something like that, which is to help.
The wife's on naproxen.
There's a whole range of them.
They basically give you that to stop your stomach lining from blistering because of what the naproxen will do. That's great. Yeah.
But then sometimes you can't even get it when you get the naproxen as well. There's been a few times where it's meant to have been dispensed with the naproxen that the wife's had.
Oh, well, we haven't got any of that. So what am I meant to do?
I've got ketoprofen, which is an anti-inflammatory. It's a newer, much stronger version of naproxen, basically.
Yep.
But I have to take lansoprazole for that to protect my stomach. But then, because of my liver cirrhosis due to the carbamazepine for my head, that also means I have to have gastroscopies on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And it's to the point now, next time they want me knocked out to do it.
I swear they said. I swear when they do that, they just send a film crew in.
I'll say, Bill, if you wake up with any lipstick on, just know something went down.
Now, why are they wanting to knock you out?
Because there's a load of veins and arteries that are linked between your stomach and your liver, and there's a serious risk of rupturing those if I retch.
If you move, right.
If I move, if I gag when they're putting the camera down, because they have to go beyond my stomach with it.
Yeah, you don't want to be getting a tear in your stomach lining. That's just
Mm.
not you.
Can't they go from underneath?
I've had it both
Can't they go
ways
from
in
the
the day.
tradesman's entrance?
I've had both cameras on the same day, twice. They wanted every last.
You got spit roasted.
Fortunately, they did use different cameras.
That's what you think.
Mm.
Well, they stick him in the MRI. You get him in the MRI, right? You put a camera on both sides and just let him rotate for the scan.
Add the barbecue sauce as you go.
No, when they do the other one, it's when they pump about 4 gallons of air into your stomach as they inflate it all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one's not fun.
It's not when they tell you to just go and sit outside and just wait for 5 minutes.
Yep.
Mm.
It's
I don't know. I had immense because obviously I have damage from my gallbladder going out. So I have scar tissue in my stomach from just acid buildup and everything else. So I had horrific pain when they did that test because of the amount of air they had to use to inflate everything.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
It is painful. It is very painful when they do it. You know, I have to have the same thing for the same reasons, but I also have to have it because of nerve damage in my spine, and it that can affect your bowels and so on. And so I have to have it for them to check that as well, that everything's working as it should, and the bowels and everything. I've just got to the point. The first time you go, you think, "Oh, fuck, this is so embarrassing." You know, it's like now it's like, whatever, get on with this. I really don't give a fuck.
Mm.
It isn't.
Last time I had it done, I was chatting up the nurse for 2 hours and says, "How the hell do you keep a straight face in this ward?"
Truth is, they probably don't.
But she liked the same music as me, so we sat listening to my Walkman.
Mm.
Yeah, and he did that on purpose. That way, because you got to think earbud cords were only so long, so she had to be real nice and close to listen to that song.
Shh! Don't give away my secrets.
So she didn't hear.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
as long as she's not the one making the noise, Matt, you'd be all right.
Yeah.
The problem for me though is having ulcerative colitis. I get to the point, for me, passing wind is something I just don't do anymore because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The passing wind lottery.
That's the one.
Is it?
The
Is
gamble.
it? No, that wasn't wind. You see, on my attitude, I don't see why people get like really upset about all this, because the best way of treating it for yourself is don't get embarrassed about it. Is just laugh at it, just laugh about it, and just it is what it is.
Well, that's like about a year or so ago. I went through a lot of testing. About a year, it might be 2 years now. But either way, I went through about 8-9 months of testing, trying to figure out what's wrong with my stomach, what's wrong with everything, where the pain's coming from. Which American system, I still have no answer. But you go through all
the bill keeps going up and up as well.
Oh yeah. And by the time I got through the 8-9 months, the embarrassment's just gone. It really is. Oh, you want to do what test? I really don't care. I'd rather have an answer than sit here and be embarrassed that I have to get a medical procedure done.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve. I mean, it don't bother me at all. Not now. But
no.
First time I had to have both cameras. I did find it embarrassing. Now it's like, all right.
It
So I've
is.
got to have
It
a
is.
camera.
You get used to it, don't you? It's sort of, yeah. Okay, carry on.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the people.
Metformin can cause some real problems as well. And then there's the one we've not mentioned yet, erectile dysfunction.
And over to you, Todd. No. Erectile dysfunction. No.
You know what? Matt, we've had this conversation on other shows and everything else. It's not something I'm embarrassed by because
No.
it was literally related to a medication I was given, and it caused severe issues with that.
Yeah, it's called his wife. No, seriously, right? Erectile dysfunction. Blokes obviously get embarrassed to talk about it.
Well, especially the younger you are, to be honest.
Which I understand if that is an issue that somebody has. And yeah, does it affect me sometimes? Yes, it does with my meds. Definitely affects me. The problem is the more you whine, and Tyler will vouch for this because I know he did it. The more you think about it, the more you wind yourself up about it. I'm not normal. I'm not. This isn't right. I should be old at my age. Blah 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 blah. And the more you wind yourself up with it, with the anxiety of not being able to do, things work, the worse it becomes for you.
Yeah,
it's one of those issues that medication causes.
A lot of medications cause. Metformin's one that causes it.
A lot of the antipsychotics.
Yeah.
In fact, I think most. Certainly,
it's one of those things too. You never think about it. Especially, I said, I'm 31 years old. I never thought at 31 I would be taking ED medication to counteract another medication's issues.
But then,
in an ideal world, you wouldn't have that problem. But it's not an ideal world, and if it's a choice between having the bipolar kicking off and really playing with your head, or
if I let the bipolar go instead of letting that be an issue, I won't be around to have an issue at all.
That's the problem. So all right, and there are ways of treating the erectile dysfunction. There are ways of dealing with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think nowadays, I don't think it's. Although I take the piss out of Tyler about it, but that's all in fun. But
hey, at least I don't have your problem, Matt.
You
get the occasional Woody and he gets stuck through the wheel of your damn chair.
Hey, well, yeah.
Oh, bam.
The worst one for me, though, was being put on beta blockers that did a complete 100% switch off.
Any of the heart medications that are beta blockers. I had a couple, same as Bill, had such similar issue. They put me on amitriptyline. Amitriptyline, exactly the same as you, Bill. It just zombified my head. It just...
Yeah, forget it.
Completely just didn't want to know fucking anything. Just destroyed. Couldn't have given a shit whether there was somebody in the bed next to me or not. I couldn't have given a fuck, And that destroys relationships. Seriously, it will destroy them unless you've got a very understanding partner. Luckily for me, I have.
For me, my last serious relationship is finished 13 years ago now, 14 years ago now.
Yeah.
And that was someone who is now my best friend.
Yeah.
But I had absolutely no emotional connection with her. None at all. It's like, oh, we've got to go to the doctors. Yeah, right, fine, I'll drive.
Yeah.
That was as much connection as I had with it.
You autopilot everything.
Yeah.
And the problem is, to people who don't know you or know you but just a little bit, you come across as, no, he's all right. Yeah, he's all right. A bit grumpy, but yeah, that's Matt. He's always like that. That's Matt.
Yeah.
But the reality is, in your own head.
Oh, the reality is completely different.
It's really, you're not all right. You're not okay. I mean, like William said there, water tablets, diuretics. Yeah. Those things, I hate those. They're dangerous, diuretics. Because those are another one that can cause.
I was taking off them.
They can cause liver damage very quickly as well.
Well, that's like the medication I take for my stomach is technically a short-term medication. Well, I've been on it for over 10 years.
Yeah.
I looked the other day, tramadol. Okay, you read tramadol.
Oh, yeah, Shrek.
Says on the packet. Evening,
Shrek.
Shrek. Says on the packet for tramadol, it says a short-term medication, usually for between 4 to 6 weeks, up to 3 months. Right? 20 years I've been on tramadol. So I guarantee I'm addicted to it. Guaranteed. Trying to come off tramadol for me, I don't even want to think about it. It would be a nightmare. It's very easy for people to sit there and have this attitude of, oh, well, you get tablets for this and you get tablets for that, so you're all right. No, they're painkillers, which I'm totally against this definition as well of painkillers. They don't kill the pain.
They numb it.
That's exactly what I was trying to say. Yeah,
they just take the edge off that pain. That's all they do. They don't get rid of the pain that you're having. And I think it's with a lot of people, it's lack of understanding. People don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't suggest drinking with any tablets, to be honest with you, Shrek, but
for me now, no form of alcohol is an option.
I will drink
at all.
As people have seen, I will have the odd bottle of beer now and again, but it's probably one a month, if that. And to be honest, I don't need it. I like to have the taste of it. I like to enjoy the beer. I enjoy the taste of it. So it's nothing to do with alcohol. High strength steroids. Evening, Gary. Hope you're well, buddy.
Gary.
And where were you last night, Mr. Gary? You missed Lee's show?
Sorry, I missed it as well.
Yeah,
so did I.
Bunch of bastard. And Tyler.
I was at my mom's party.
Well, that's a poor excuse.
Why? Because I didn't invite you?
Loretta sent me and Matt an invite anyway.
You know what? I'll have to tell her husband next time. I said, you got to invite these two other guys to your wife's party next time.
Excuse me, Dad.
That's the thing, though, Lee. like you have a drink now and again. You'll have a drink if we do a show. You might
I
have
want seconds.
a few bottles, a few beers on the show. When it's like a birthday, one of your birthdays or something, you'll have a few beers.
Hour.
Half hour,
And have a good time. But it's not you're not like putting away 10 pints every single night of the week. You enjoy a beer now and again. Nothing wrong with that. You know?
Dad, he's had chips in my dinner.
Yes, I'll give you chips for dinner.
Chicken dogs.
I mean, somebody who actually, I can say it now, she's back. Somebody who was messed about like fuck
That way.
with medication was Lisa when she was younger.
I'm ready to make mine.
Oh, we need you to put you on this antidepressant. Well, that's not working. Oh, I know. We'll put you on another one. Oh, no, that's not working. We'll up that one and put more of that one. And
Swiss fry breakfast.
this was before, she was 16. It's like using somebody as a guinea pig almost. It's.
I said, by the time I was 20, I'd been on 15 different ones.
And that was just alcohol. No.
It might not have helped that I was drinking heavily as well.
Well, I did that as well, mate, but that's...
Bill, we've all heard the stories. You say drinking heavily. I say drinking like you're trying to drink the world dry.
But the thing is, with any of the mental health issues, alcohol actually works it does actually help. It doesn't in the long term, but it does take the edge off it and make it possible for you to function short term.
If you've got hypomania, which I had, I needed to drink just to come down to the level that everybody else had come up to.
Yeah.
Everybody else is getting really excited to go and do something. I'd need 2 bottles of whiskey to come down to their level.
Yep. Exactly, William. Escapism. That's a very good word for it, escapism. And it is very true. But it's such a dangerous way of doing it because then you get addicted to drinking and you get addicted. And there's no doubt, I think Bill was. I certainly did. You get addicted to drinking a lot, which isn't good for you. And I'm not doing the whole, you shouldn't drink at all and all that. I'm not doing that. If you want to drink, have a drink, enjoy it. But be careful, especially if you're taking medication, because with certain medications that I take, alcohol is really not an option to be taken. Really risky. It can have real bad effects.
I say 6 of my medications now I can't drink with at all.
No. That's very much it, though, William. You get lost. You lose yourself in drinking. And it helps. Or you think it helps.
The thing was, back then, I had to take that level of edge off because to explain hypomania, everybody gets really excited. They're going to do something fantastic and they get really hyped up and revved up for it. The day afterwards, I'm still getting higher and higher and higher until 3 weeks down the line, I do a complete crash.
Yeah, no dive.
And that little bit that every if you draw a graph and everybody's normal wave line is between those two, I'm bouncing off the floor and the ceiling. I'm spending half an hour a week in that bit. The rest of the time, I'm so far outside of the graph. You can't live like that.
Yeah, no.
And that's hypermania. It is, you start getting higher and higher, and nothing brings you down.
No.
Alcohol will slow it down. It'll only slow it.
Yeah, it's
So
very
it doesn't
dangerous.
really-
And when you do eventually crash, you go to a point where it's really bad.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people do end up being on the like suicidal or attempting something terrible.
I've done all of that. It's when you come out of, you go into a psychotic state at the end of a hypermania, and you come round and realise you're sat on the edge of a cliff with your feet on the wrong side of it.
Yeah.
And
Deciding,
nothing inside of you to push back on to lift yourself out of it.
and yeah, but the thing is, Bill, you've been there, I've been there, and you're at that point where you really can't give yourself a good reason why you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
There's no good reason why I shouldn't do it. I'm quite open about that. I can quite happily sit here and say, been there, been at that point, and quite happily thought, yeah, why not? Fuck it, why not?
Well,
Seems like
scary. A lot of us have been to that point.
it seems like a good idea to me.
Do you know what? The only thing that got me to turn around and walk back into the doctors on 3 different occasions was remembering how my mother had been on previous occasions when I got to that point.
Yeah.
And how badly it had affected her. And I spent from sunset to sunrise just crying, sat on the edge of a cliff.
Yeah.
And I could so easily, whilst just sat crying, have leant forwards, gone.
Yeah, good night, Vienna.
Yep.
It's easy to talk about now because it obviously is years in the past, so it is easier. It's still not a nice thing to think about, but I think a lot of people, if they were truthful, a lot of people have been at that point in their lives. You know.
I mean, I know I have, but at least once or twice. I can't even tell you a number.
I couldn't put a number on it because I was bouncing between states to such a level. It was, I could bounce from suicidal to over the top manic in 2 or 3 days.
You see what Lisa's put there is bang on about her mental health, and anybody who knows Lisa, I'm lucky enough to know them both really well, and what she's been through in her time. But the important bit to take out of that is the bit that's in commas. Under strict medical supervision.
Yeah.
Don't just stop. Don't just think, I'll just stop. If you're going to stop a medication or you think you need to or want to, go and see the doctor. For God's sake, talk to them. And then decide.
It's like you or I, Matt. Medication. There's one medication, if either of us stop it, cold turkey, it will kill us.
Oh, yeah, it will. Yeah, it will.
About 36 hours afterwards.
Yeah, it's not. It's, there's a cheerful thought for the show. If anybody wants to kill me off, just rob that medication. If I can't get hold of it, I'll be dead.
Yeah.
But just remember, I guarantee I'll come back and haunt you, you bastards. I fucking guarantee it.
But some of those medications are nasty.
Yeah.
This is why we thought talking about it today was important.
And it's very true what
negatives.
Very true what William said. People around you, can help manage it. Very, very true.
Yeah.
It's thank you, William. And it. But it is true what you're saying, William. If you've got really good people, friends, family, and so on, who know you, listen to them, because if they say, "Oh, you're in a right grumpy, miserable mood," you won't probably see that you're being, because I do it still now. I can be a grumpy, right, miserable git and snapping and not know I'm doing it. You don't know you're doing it.
Mm.
And this is the thing. It's it's harder for the people who are having to deal with you half the time.
Yeah.
Partners and things like that. If you've got somebody like I'm lucky enough to have Alana who's really, really good, I just get why don't you shut up, you miserable, grumpy bastard? Fuck off. It's like, but she'll tell me how it is.
Well, it's like I get a phone call, and within 2 minutes of being on the phone talking the nine, she'll go, "You're not in a good place," or
yeah, what's
"Oh,
up
you're
with
on a
you?
better one today." Yeah.
You get the what's up with you? Nothing. I'm fine. No, you're not. I am.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
Window open.
But they soon work it out.
But it does mean that your friends, your family have to be prepared to work with you and understand you.
It's important to get those people around you, William. It's a good point you brought up. It's the people. You need to have people around you, not people who are going to go, "Oh, yeah, you're fine. You need those people who are willing to say, "Oi, Muppet, you're acting like a fucking right bell end or whatever. There's obviously something wrong with you. What's going on? Maybe you need to go and see somebody. Maybe you need to talk to you. It is important to have those people. And if you're lucky enough to have people like that, that is a godsend. It really is. It's the people you don't want around you are the ones who are pull your socks up. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just depression.
Oh yeah.
Which proves they've never had anything like it in their lives. Yep, I know you did, Lee. Yeah, I know you did. It's stress tends to be a big thing for me. If I'm stressed, I know that affects my mental health quite badly. Luckily enough, since moving over here, I've de-stressed so much. It's like it's great. So it's a godsend for me. It's much more chilled. There's still days you get grumpy with things, but that's natural. That's normal life. Everybody does.
But stress is a big one for me. I don't do stress. Not anymore.
I think that's with everybody. Is the most important thing in life is to try and get rid as much as is possible. Is to get rid of stress out of your life. And I know that's impossible, really, because you've only got to go out in the car and go drive into your local town or something, and you're going to get stressed because of the tits that are driving. But or go to work in like Craig's case, just go to work and drive the bus for half hour, and you're having to deal with some tit who don't listen. What
I say, yeah.
It's getting.
I think I'd last about 12 months at your job, Craig, before I'd run somebody down.
Yeah.
Probably the manager in the depot.
You wouldn't see them anyway. Very rarely see management.
Bill, when you see the old man at the bus stop, you're not supposed to hit him.
Mate, I'd reverse into the bus stop to hit him. Depending which old man you're talking about.
Now, there's one or two who I might fail to reverse away from.
All you need to do, Lee, is open the window and say, "Look at this beautiful view," and as you do it, accidentally push. Look. Oh, he jumped.
Yeah.
It's a long way down.
The new ones, you can't open the doors as you're driving.
Just squeeze him from the gap. What are you doing? I'm making him jump.
I mean, yeah, one place I worked, I had one manager. He used to get on my case terribly. Now, of course, if I was on the wrong side of the cycle, I couldn't deal with him at all. If I was on Manic's side, I'd just brush him off. But if I was going down the other side of that graph, couldn't cope. Fortunately, we had a works manager who understood me. I'd walk down the corridor, have a word with him, go, "Manager's been a tosser again." And that'll be it. I would barely hear anything from John for about a fortnight. Because he would get a major dressing down for getting on my case. Goes, "Work rate. He's pissing about because he's got nothing to do. Or he can't cope at the minute. Leave him alone."
Yeah.
Where's his actual work? Oh, he's about 3 weeks ahead. Right, why are you getting on his case? But a manager who's like that, he never did understand the whole thing of manic depression. Never understood it.
That old T-shirt that it was Bikers Gearbox did. Bosses are like nappies. They hang around your arse all day and they're full of shit.
Yep.
So true.
I'll put it this way. There were days where I wish I'd had this T-shirt when I worked there.
Exceeding medication levels. Yep.
You're about to exceed the limits of my medication.
I do think the workplace has probably got better with regards to mental health nowadays. More businesses tend to take note of people's mental health nowadays.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
It only becomes an issue if it's interfering with the productiveness.
So it hasn't changed much then. They've just put a smiley face on it.
Basically, yeah.
That's it.
It only becomes an issue when the company thinks it's an issue. Yeah.
You see that
Shit hasn't changed.
it should have changed years ago. It should have changed a lot of years ago. I'm not saying a company needs to take on somebody who is at my level with mental health, because it wouldn't be fair on a company, because I couldn't function in that environment. But there are plenty of people who are perfectly capable as a schizophrenic, for instance, or bipolar, but they're perfectly capable. But if they're having a day where things aren't working right, if they can just go to the boss and say, look, it ain't very good today, things are it's a bit wobbly, sort of thing, then the company needs to take note of that. They need to put some or have something in place. That should have been catered for years ago. These companies should have catered for that.
It's one of those where people in that situation need to be on a staff wage rather than because we used to have staff all hourly paid.
Yeah.
If I'd been on a staff wage, it would have been possible to account for the bad days.
You see, it's true.
Paid. If I wasn't there, I wasn't paid.
Yeah.
If I could do 5 times as much as anybody else, didn't come into it. If I'd been on a salary rather than hourly paid, would have been different.
Like what Gary's just put. You know, they're trained to do the job, but they're not trained to manage people.
Yeah.
And that is the issue. Because everybody is different. Everybody will react differently to jobs with stress, with a stressful situation. You know,
it's that thing. Was I good at my job? Yes. Too good. If that's possible. But I set myself a very, very high standard and could achieve it.
Yeah.
And that was why the works manager, Jerry, who I used to get on with, he could accept I was having a bad day. And I'd find some way of still being at the building, but avoiding doing anything much because I just couldn't function that day.
Yeah.
Well, it all comes a day or two later, and I'd more than make up for it.
This is meant to, if you go by what the government. I know I'm pushing the boundaries of reality here, but it was meant to have come under the Disability and Mental Health Living Act, that bosses were meant to give people in these situations more of a chance. Good evening, Mike.
Hey, Mike. Yeah, they were, but
Mike.
Never worked. It's never worked for mental health. It just hasn't. It's just failed when it comes to mental health in particular. It's like I fought for years to not be diagnosed.
Yeah.
With bipolar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean, that's a death sentence. That's a death sentence to your career.
Yeah. There's somebody else who had a lot of stress through their job, was Mike. You know, caused by their job. And things that happened while he was doing that job.
Yeah.
It does seem to be a thing with bus drivers that, joking apart, as much as I take the piss out of bus drivers do seem to get a lot of stress. The fact that you're dealing with idiots all day who get on the buses doesn't help. I get asked countless stupid questions like, is this bus leaving? No, I thought I'd park it here. It really shouldn't be a taboo subject, though, William. It's these are all things that the governments over the years have said that they were going to deal with, and they never have.
Well, it's like, Matt, simple fact. You or I cannot legally walk into a workshop anymore.
Nope.
And they go, oh, you can do a part-time job. No, I can't, because I can't walk into a place of work because
I'm
they
sure
cannot
you've
get
had it.
insurance cover. They cannot
You
get
get the
insurance cover to work.
You get the job centre woman or man phone up, and they say about reallocating. Have you looked for a job? No. Why? Because there is no job that would take me on for insurance reasons. Oh, I'm sure there's something. Have you looked at working in retail?
Yeah, great idea.
An hour and a half later, the woman got off the phone after me explaining a few things to her, and she went, okay, I see your point now. It wouldn't be a good idea to put you into a retail position, would it? I went, no, it really, really wouldn't. I went, whereas you get an idiot come in off the street who's a bit of an idiot, and you think, oh, what a Burke, I'll deal with them, I'll be nice to them, and then they go away. If I'm in a bad mood, they're going to do that. I'm going to lose it. They're going to get hurt. I promise you, they are going to get hurt. There's no two ways about it. I will hurt them. Because I cannot be dealing with it.
Grandma can't right now. Her car's broken.
I might be able to manage that one, William, sitting at a window counting pigeons. Although I do get quite bored with things. So as long as it's not more than 10 pigeons, we'll be all right.
Enough. Go out there.
Back
up.
No, there is a simple thing, though. They have to be able to get employment insurance for you.
Yeah. The thing is, Mike, part of the reason, Mike, you're in the position you're in is through doing that job that you did, through things that happened while you were doing that job. Physical injury, your spine and so on. And also some of that post-traumatic stress that you've got, which causes you panic attacks and all of that crap that you have to go through. Putting you back in that sort of position or a retail position. I mean, I would like to see Mikey working in Tesco stacking shelves. It would be hilarious if somebody asks him where something is. As they get a tin of beans launched at them. Square straight off the forehead. It would be kind of comical. Yes, Lee, that would be me. 1, 2. Oh, yeah. Oh, pigeon. Where? God, you could just imagine it, can't you? Mike in a Tesco uniform.
Oh, the ultimate job for Mike, Tesco delivery driver.
When they turn around to him and go, here you go, here's your box cutter Stanley knife for opening. But no, it's all right, I brought my own. It's like, cool.
Mm.
Put that away.
Say hi.
Yeah, put her down. You don't know where she's been.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this, Gary, and dyslexia is definitely something that affects quite a lot of people. But again, yeah, it comes down to the facts that these places don't really understand. The employers don't,
Yeah.
or they do understand, but they just don't really care. I think could be it as well.
Mm.
It's like for me, I have dyscalculia. So I used to spend time making jigs and pre-marked measuring sticks to mark things off. Because it was the only way I could deal with it.
Yeah.
Because if somebody else to check one jig, then I could make 1,000 of exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I could guarantee I wouldn't get the same measurements twice.
Yeah, I don't know whether you've ever really been and seen anyone, Gary. I can't remember what you said, but I think you probably need some help with your dyslexia. There are people who can help with dyslexia. There are systems that could work for you.
It's very true, though. Is finding the trick for that job.
Oh, Mike, I do that all the time. I put that down to a lot of that. I swear, Mike, is medication as well. The medication confuses you. It confuses your head the way you're thinking. Some of your medication will, like, you write a text to somebody, you look at it and you think, that's spelt wrong. It's not, but it looks wrong in your head. You know,
something you don't want to do is spend 10 minutes looking at a website like Quora, and someone's asked a question and there's 5 answers. You then go to write the correct answer and you think all of your spelling's wrong.
I wouldn't know, William. I wouldn't know, William. I'm not old. I'm not old. I do swear a lot, yes. It's one thing I'm very good at, is swearing.
Definitely proficient at it.
I'm proficient at swearing and getting old. That's what I'm good at.
Yep. So I've been learning to swear in 4 other languages now as well.
Police have got the helicopter out.
I upset a few of the foreign students that we have down in the language centres down here the other day. I'm sure they swore at me in their own language.
What have you done this time, Craig?
Well, one of them flashed a card that quickly. I tried to grab her. I'd actually managed to grab her hair. And I kind of tugged a little bit and pulled her back. Apparently she wasn't happy. She wasn't happy and she was offended when she got off at the bus station.
I'm offended. Oh, for fuck's sake. Well done, mate. You've offended somebody. Good job.
I think she might have been German as well.
You didn't say we won the war, you know.
No. No, she wasn't happy.
So I've got a new hobby. It's annoying my sat nav. Wherever I'm going, I'll program the sat nav, and then I'll take a completely different route. And when it works out where I'm going, I've changed route again.
Does your sat nav build? Does it do
Really
the
upset
thing?
about it.
You know, you get so far where you're meant to have turned, and it goes like at the next roundabout, take the third exit to come back on yourself. And if you miss that, it then starts getting more like irate, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Mine does that. It gets like the fourth time, and then she just goes quiet. She just doesn't talk anymore. She throws a wobbly.
Yeah, man does that in Newcastle. There's 3 different ways of getting into Newcastle city centre from this side. If I decide I'm going to use one of the other routes, SatNav hates it. I had it once. Last time I went, I had it 5 times try and make me double back at roundabouts. And it's like, yeah, but I'm now 2 miles from the town centre. You want me to go back 6 miles?
Have you got a sat nav in your car, Tyler?
No.
Have you got Waze on your phone?
So yeah, we have the Google stuff on our phones.
If you download Waze, there's loads of different like voices you can download to go on Waze on your phone. And I was downloading loads of them at one point, and you can download like Bluey.
Oh no.
So you get like kids' programmed voices telling you where to drive. It's fucking hilarious.
Mike, if I did that, all I did was Sharon.
He's going the wrong fucking way again, yeah.
You just know Mike will be taking wrong turns everywhere, just to annoy it.
Yep.
I know there are a few systems for this for the people with dyslexia that can help. I mean, I know what about dyslexia. I just don't know very much about the systems that there are to help you.
Yes, you. Yes, you. What are you?
It's definitely something you need to get.
Yeah. There is a sat nav that will take audio instructions for where you want to go. It's one of the mid to upper range of the Garmins, and you can program that all with voice, so you don't have to worry about spelling.
I can do that with my car anyway, mate. Mine's got all that built-in voice recognition. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It depends how it feels. If it has a stroppy day, you're not going to get where you're meant to be going. I think once a month, I think my car has. I think it has like. I think it has a period. It throws a wobbly once a month.
I'd say TomTom was the best one around here because it used to try and send everybody down the donkey track, including buses.
At the next cliff, please drive off.
I'll meet with you.
It's not far off it. It's a 1 in 2 is the donkey path.
Oh, sake. Oh,
like
yeah, I've
that.
seen some of those. Oh, I've seen some of those. I've seen some of those, Gary. The Irish ones are fucking hilarious. Irish sat nav is great. Comes to something, doesn't it, William, when even your car's bossing you about?
No, do not. Yes.
Just threaten it and tell it you'll disconnect its battery if it doesn't be open. Around Tyler's area, all you get is, at the next pimp, please take a right turn into Dunkin' Donuts.
I mean, it'd be more accurate. At least I would know where I'm going.
Yeah. Third pimp on the left. There's another Dunkin' Donuts.
Just go via Dunkin' Donuts, you'd be well away.
Yep. And second pimp on the right, Starbucks.
If you hit McDonald's, you went too far.
If you hit McDonald's, you're definitely a crap driver.
I'd say if you go to McDonald's, you've definitely gone too far.
Mike, you're not drawing me into that one.
For something every 2 minutes until I'm done.
It is true, though. They are all female, and they always get irate with you.
I can't do it if you're asking
I've got mine set to that posh female voice on the Garmin. Because it's even funny when she gets pissed off.
There's one on the waves one. I'll have to record it when I'm in the car one day, because you get the next left, turn right. You get this sexy voice coming through the sat nav. It's great. I think I'm banned from using it at the minute.
There was someone that had. Oh, there was a video that some woman had put out that her husband and her kids had set her Tesla to the noise of when the doors lock, the car farts. And then, of course, they changed it to some other noise when she was using the indicators as well.
I want to be able to do that, but on BMW drivers, so that when they put the indicator on, it goes, "Fuck me, you found it."
Oh, it's take the third right on the left.
The third right on the left. I like that one. Oh God, nobody in Germany watches this show. We'd be off on freaking charges.
Right.
I know you can get Darth Vader on the sat nav.
I would definitely not want Anne Robinson, because all I do is, you are the weakest link, goodbye.
You have arrived at your destination. Goodbye.
You are the weakest link. You missed the roundabout, Norbert.
Who thinks that driving 40 miles an hour in a 30 is appropriate?
Only time I stick to speed limits is when there's a policeman behind.
See, that's the great thing about GPS in America now, is it's gotten to a point where most of the GPS actually tells you where the police are.
Yep.
And if
They
it doesn't
banned
tell you,
that.
people can actually go on their phones now and red light where they are in the US.
Yeah, Waze does that. Waze does it because it's a network. It's a networked app.
Mm.
You can actually tell people where the police are. So if there's a speed camera up the road, it will come up. People put it in, so you know there's a speed camera just up the road.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, it's quite a good app actually, and it's free.
That's it. If you hook the Garmin up to your phone, that'll do it as well.
Yeah.
And it's a free update.
Yeah. I prefer to use the one on my phone than I do the one that's built in the car. Yeah, that's the one, Mike. I've used the AA one, the AA route finder one. That works well as well. I find Waze, I just find it works better. Well, it works. I prefer it. Other people will obviously prefer other things.
Okay. Can you stop it? You've been doing
One thing I do like is Google Maps, because if I sit and look it up on my laptop, work out the route on laptop, it automatically, next time I open it on my phone, it goes straight to the route I was looking at.
Yeah.
Which is kind of useful.
I just think Waze is probably, as a cheap option, well, free, so very cheap. It's a good cheap option if you don't want to fork out for buying like sat-nav and then buying updates and all the rest of it. And it's pretty up to date and pretty accurate. It is pretty decent. But I still go back to that old thing that we all used to use when we started out, apart from Tyler. You know, books of maps. I still look up things on a book of maps. I can still read, you know, and tell where I'm going from that. So
he takes out his compass. He makes sure he knows north, south. You know, he's got his directions going. He lights the fire to make sure the wind direction's right.
I know when.
Please get a bit funny when I get out the ordnance survey.
What in front of it?
Whilst I'm driving.
Used to be fun when the foreign students used to put their maps in front of your nose as you're driving the bus. Do you go here? Now they're doing it with their phones instead. Yay.
That's where you just swerve the bus so it's all over, mate.
Yeah, that was a sad loss, wasn't it? Losing the button-down mind. I loved his bus driver's course. Bus driving instructor. Now, you set off too quickly there. You should have let them think they had a chance of catching the bus.
Right, I'm just going to nip to the bathroom, so it's a Dalek break.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm a Dalek break now.
Loss.
We just said that he was stuck.
But yeah, I need to go start listening to some more Bob Newhart again, because he did some funny stuff.
Like I was saying earlier, man, I was getting into the old comics again, and you miss, compared to nowadays comedians, I mean, yeah, it's a lot more vulgar, but man, the comedy level is just different.
Oh yeah. Thing is, you get someone like Bob Newhart. He wasn't vulgar. He didn't swear. But he was funny, and he could be dangerously funny at times. It's like somebody finding a shell on the beach. What do you mean this? You found a shell on the beach? Oh, not that kind of shell. What's that ticking? And he's on about some police control there, trying to get him to clear an area and all that. And there's some kid knocking on the door of the phone box. Can he have his toy back? He's pressed the wrong button again.
That's pressed the wrong button.
I might have. What people
Nothing
vaping on?
like announcing your
Yeah, what people are? What podcast? I don't know. Not Tuesday. What are people vaping on? Don't say e-liquid, Bill, before you.
Usual Blaze on the Dovepot, Reaver, DNA, and the Fuck Pig on the Armour Pro. And it's just got my usual coconut custard in.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
Fair enough.
Go on, then,
Come on,
Tyler. What
what do
you
you got?
vaping on?
I was trying to be nice, tell Craig to go.
Okay, I'll go then. G-Class with the Juggernaut V2, and I've got some branded apple pie. Cooker with the Ambitions Molenbridge in it, with King's Custard Shamrock Shake in that. And Guzzi
More of that.
with some Tommy in it. That's what I'm on. Go on, Tyler.
All right. Well, this one I'm waiting on batteries to charge for. They should be ready, thankfully, soon. TS Triple Squonk. I had to charge the batteries. I got 3 other setups. With the Pyro V2 on top of that. Nice little squonk. Matt knows this one's coming, and this is just for Matt. Both flab boxes, both lottos.
Nice.
Got the max and the 1.5. Those have my grape and my mango in those. And then for my work beater, I've been using the stubby, actually. That still has the original stubby tank in it. And that has a little higher, not much, but a little bit higher nicotine version of my mango. And that's all I really have this week.
Me eyes on the little Ceto. The Blaze tank in with some black currant in. Billet box. New set of doors on with, can't remember what bridge that is. The Wicked bridge in it. And the only other big thing I have on the desk is I have that on the desk, which that has some, that's got some English toffee in it. Which is rather good in the custard.
Yeah.
Some of that. I don't know.
Yeah,
Nowadays, I usually have about 3 mods at the most kicking about on the desk. I can't be. I can't be asked to have anything else set up because I don't know. Means I have to re-wick and rebuild more stuff. So. I've gone all Boro just lately. I seem to be using Boros all the time.
Yeah, I've noticed over the last couple of years, I've went down in number of setups that I had keep in rotation. 3 or 4 usually now. I mean, I used to have 6 setups at all times.
Yeah. I've got everything. I mean, I've got everything on the desk that I need. I've got, if I want power, I've got 400 watt lipo mod. So yeah, not a problem. But for everyday use, Oro stuff, it's more than enough. Whose coils are you using though, Mike? Are they CC coils? Very good.
Opposite my scream, and I'm not screaming right now. Because otherwise, you guys don't listen to anything I say.
Yeah, thought there would be. He does some good coils actually.
I'm making dinner. Stop terrorizing.
Yeah, I've got these 0.11 aliens in this.
Yeah. I told him before he doesn't promote himself as much as he should do.
How about you go in a different room?
I think his coils are superior to some that are out there. Not a big fan of Scott's coils, if I'm really honest. I've had them in the past, and they're okay.
The ones I've been pleased with have been Dave's coils.
Yeah, they look good as well.
He does make some decent coils.
Yeah. Tyler makes good coils. He just doesn't give them out to anybody. He's a tight bastard. Typical communist.
I told you I'll make you whatever you want, but you got to pay shipping.
Mate, the shipping is ridiculous. To get a set of coils from the States to here is absolutely.
I think last time I checked, and that was the charity stream, mind you. So that's
Yeah,
and that was probably about $40.
Yeah, $40 to send a set of coils or some coils. It was more than one set.
You guys all just stop.
From
But
the
for a
States.
small USPS package.
Yeah. It's just, no, it's wrong. It's wrong, mate.
Well, it makes it so hard for me to make any business out of it because I've got people all over that would like the coils, but it's going to charge them so much more to ship them.
Yeah.
If only there was a way we could come up with, like, getting your coils to the UK, even if you did like a batch of coils.
Oh, I would have to. It'd have to be a whole batch at a time.
Yep, I totally agree with that, Mike. Even though it's well known, me and Shane had a bit of a fallout, disagreement, whatever. Yeah, Shane's coils still class coils. Shane, his Met coil.
I think I've still got some of his coils somewhere.
Yeah, Shane don't build anymore.
Well, I must admit, John's ones were nice.
Yeah, John did some nice coils. Not impressed with TKD's coils. Partly, to be perfectly honest, my issue with the TKD is not because they're Scottish. It's because of the attitude I had from him. When you want a set of specific ohmed coils and he decides he's going to do them in a different ohm to what I've requested.
Mm.
Or worse still, that he did to me, when you tell him you can't use certain materials, so you want the coils made of.
I'm not sitting on here slag. I'm not going to slag him off. I'm sure he can build good coils, and I'm sure people like his coils. And if you do, that's cool. Just to me, I think there's other people I prefer personally, but
For me, the coils looked nice, but I couldn't use them. The one from Danny.
kind of defeats the point, really, doesn't it?
If he sends you coils that you can't use.
Yeah, that's the one, Gary. Yeah. It's I don't know. Maybe he was having an off day or something. Maybe that's whatever. But
it could have been he wasn't able to make that low an ohmage for you.
I think no, it wasn't even that low. I wanted some 0.9s, which to me is not low for a set of coils. If I'm building them on a max. I think Ian does some good coils.
Bring me the books. I literally bought those yesterday.
The only thing that frustrates me about Ian is I wish he'd just. I've said to him before, I said, you need to promote yourself a bit more. Get your name out there and promote yourself. Oh, well, they'll sell if they sell. If they don't, no. That's like, oh, you fucking hell. I mean, he's a nice guy. He really is, Ian.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't got anything against Scott personally. I just think his coils are. He tends to make a lot of. He does what M-Turk used to do. He churns out a lot of coils, so the coils tend to not be maybe up to a higher quality as some coil builders are. Maybe I've been spoiled over the years. Trust me, who came up with that code? It's got to be Ian to come up with that code. Who needs underpants? If you ever talk to anybody, ever talks to Ian, you'll understand why. He's a fucking lunatic, but in the best way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you best remember that, Mr. Dobson. Yeah. You have a good day tomorrow, buddy.
Yeah.
Have a
See you
good
later,
day,
William.
William.
He is. He definitely is. He's cracked.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Jobby. Talking of Dobby, has anybody actually heard anything from Dave lately?
No.
No,
I know that he's been posting I know that there's been things going up on the Discord that has, but I don't know whether that's just automatic or not.
The only thing I've seen lately on Facebook is he keeps
I swear to
posting
God, I'm gonna flip out in a minute if you guys don't stop.
about his game that he plays.
Either lying or you're
He's
lying,
trying to get
but
more
I'm
people
tired
on
of this
to
back and
that.
forth stuff with making up stories.
Well, you see, Gary, the problem is as you get into the hobby of vaping, not just vaping, the hobby of vaping, you end up on a rapid decline of spending lots and lots and lots and lots of money.
Yes.
And it starts out usually with mods. You spend lots of pennies on mods. Right? And you spend lots of money on mods that you end up not using, putting in boxes and sticking them in the cupboard and not using them. Not because there's anything wrong with them, just because you just can't be asked to get them out and do it. And you end up with like boxes like this
What I said to do, at least 4
of mods stashed away. And I really must get a mech out at some point and do another proper mech build. And then you get to the point where you think, this coil building thing.
That's where you get in trouble.
And you end up going down the deep and rapid decline of thinking, haha, I know, I'll make my own coils.
hands off.
And it gets to be an obsession. You want to talk about an addiction? Mechs and making your own coils. That's an addiction. A fucking expensive addiction, especially mechs.
You had to throw me under the bus like that, Matt? You know what I mean?
Yes,
I feel the tires right over my back.
I was throwing Mike under the bus as well. The amount of mechs at one point that he had, and I mean some fucking. I mean, I've got a few of his. But some of the stuff he got rid of, and I know, I'm not going to go into it, but it's some really nice stuff.
Same thing.
I try not to get rid of any of the nice stuff that I've got.
You're getting way too old to sit here and ignore your parents.
Oh, Gary, if you go into making your own juice,
yeah.
You will end up you'll end up with cupboards full of concentrates, and I'm not on about one or two. I mean, you're talking hundreds of concentrates and
a dozen different raspberries alone.
I mean, if you pick something basic that I like and that Bill's sort of a go-to is custards. I've been playing about with a custard that I make for myself. I've been playing away at that for about 4 years to just get it exactly the way I want. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's a perfectly good, really good custard. But
But you two are getting way too old to keep.
Gets to be an obsession. It really does.
Sometimes it's okay.
We should do a show on addiction, shouldn't we?
You're getting way too old. To keep
Yeah.
Got it?
Addiction, the addiction of vaping.
Then stop doing it first.
Fuck all to do with nicotine, I tell you. There's nothing to do with nicotine.
Oh, you're gonna love this. I had somebody tell me yesterday that because they smoke still. I had a smoker tell me yesterday that it was healthier than vaping. I might have called them an idiot.
Walk up and just go straight in your eyes. So that healthy.
I might have called them a fucking idiot.
Because they're doing what everybody does. They're reading what Big Pharma put out in the media. And I've noticed just lately there's been quite a bit on Facebook, Instagram, a bit on Twitter as well, of people putting out about how this young girl burnt her lungs through vaping and her sister died the previous week from vaping. I was like, two people in the same family, one seriously ill with lung damage and one dying from vaping. Now let's get the truth. What were they fucking vaping?
Yeah.
If there is any truth, and if one of them died and the other seriously ill, then I'm very sorry that that's happened, that sort of thing. But let's find out the truth. Was she vaping illegal THC cartridges? Because they were American. It was in America somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm willing. I guarantee you know it, Tyler. We all know it.
Or was she vaping the other thing that's been cropping up, which is fentanyl stuck into a vape pod?
Oh, no, there's an even better one now. You know, I said a while back about this new drug. There's a new drug going around in America. What was it called? It's like a zombie drug almost. It turns you, it rots your skin. Well, somewhere in America, I think it might be California. Surprise, surprise. Somebody has decided that they can put that into the cartridges.
Oh, brilliant!
So now, when you're vaping, you're injecting this extremely toxic, poisonous stuff.
Oh, it's
a
nicotine sedative as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's meant to be. It's something. It's veterinary use for sedating large horses, bulls, and large animals. And people in America, it seems to be California. Not that I'm saying anything about California, but that area, it seems to be that they're taking this as to get a high from it.
California, the home of the label on the hairdryer saying "Do not use in the shower."
Yep.
That's
That's one on the toaster that says not a bath bomb.
Well, yeah, that is true, Mike. Yeah, addiction, and the side effects. Addiction is part of the side effects of some of the medications. I mean, before you jumped in, mate, I'd been saying about the tramadol, because obviously it's an opiate, highly addictive drug. And there's many other highly addictive opiates that people are prescribed. We were talking last night on Lee's show. We were talking about how the legalization of cannabis for health purposes should come about in the UK.
Yeah,
and I truly believe that they are now testing after all these years. They are testing at the moment the outcome and the possibility of using cannabis, medical supervised cannabis use, to treat schizophrenia.
I can see that.
Now, it's been said for years that one of the causes of schizophrenia and psychosis was cannabis. I never had an issue when I smoked, when I was smoking it for pleasurable use, you know. But I never had an issue with cannabis in that way. Never really made me paranoid, nothing like that. But I guarantee in this country that will not happen quickly. We're going to be talking, it's going to be talking 10 years probably.
I was going to say a decade at least.
I mean, I know that you use it for sort of your medical purposes, Mike. And I'm not being funny. It's a damn sight healthier for your system than it is taking opiates. You know, say a morphine-based. You know, and if it was legalized and you had to get it on prescription, it would mean it was a taxable income for the government. There are people, obviously, it wouldn't agree with, obviously. But I also think there's a hell of a lot of people that it would do good for.
I used to use it
don't
for,
see any truth.
yeah, I used to use it for pain management and anti-inflammatory properties. The thing was, I had a really good joint every 2 or 3 days, just one joint.
Yeah.
And it would mean I would have 2 days where my hands worked properly without any pain.
Do you know something, Gary? There is actually one known case of somebody killing themselves through cannabis use. There is only one known case. Somebody in America went in to a petrol station and sparked up a spliff or cannabis cigarette in a petrol station while filling up their car with petrol. Now, I'm seeing a slight issue here. This isn't really a cannabis-based issue. This is a moron-based issue. And surprise, surprise, the fumes ignited and it went bang. You can't really blame that on the cannabis. You just blame that on the moron that was trying to light his cigarette in a petrol station.
Right.
No, don't do that. That's. But you're right, Gary. Nobody has ever died.
It's like the morons who set fire to their legs with their 18650s loose in the pocket. You're a moron. I mean, the ultimate. Let's stick oil dissolved in more oil and vape it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we use an extra thick oil to make it look like it's better quality.
Yeah.
And then hospitalize 1,600 people and blame it on vaping.
Yeah.
No, it was more.
Well, you're pretty much guaranteed that somewhere behind that whole thing was something to do with Bloomberg.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
he certainly was behind the press about it.
I'm not saying he made the THC cartridges, but I'm saying he was definitely behind rubbing his hands together when people were dying, and he thought, "Oh, you know." I think between us, Mike, if we all got together and all our meds together, I think we could start a new department of fucking boots. Hey, what's Mike been sending me? I better not be nudes again.
Again.
It's like,
Okay, now, Michael. Oh,
it's like the one I did a couple of years ago when I'd thrown my shoulder out and I go see a consultant, specialist in shoulders and that. Said, he went through my medical record, goes, "You've already got better painkillers here than I can prescribe. You already been bloody prescribed them." I says, "Yeah, they're not touching it."
the thing is cannabis has been around for thousands and thousands of years. And if you... The worst case scenario, if you overdo it with cannabis, you're going to pass out and feel sick. Worst case scenario, you end up whiting. If you treat it properly...
And then go and spend loads of money in Dunkin' Donuts.
Well, that's the side effect.
Yeah.
And that's your fault. Stop trying to take the bus through the drive-through. You see, Craig, you see it on the news. Bus driver to get stuck in drive-through. Yeah, Lee, behave yourself, else you'll be getting a slap off you the better half. Oh, bless her. I love that. But the worst case scenario, you end up sleeping. You know, that's the worst case scenario. You end up... Why they just don't legalise it for health purposes in this country? It would actually be... And the problems with opiates is all the side effects, like we said before, that it causes to people: stomach issues, liver, kidney, addiction issues, the mental issues that it causes with addiction.
Industrial levels of constipation.
Yep. You could legalise it. Yeah, but it's not done you any harm, has it, Gary? That's the point. You felt a bit like, well, I was a bit wobbly here, but you know, a few hours later, you're back to normal.
So it made me laugh. When I was still using it, I rolled a couple of joints, one for me, one for a couple of friends. Well, the couple of friends turned into 6 people shared the other joint, and all six of them were stoned off their faces, and I'm perfectly normal, because to me it was normal.
And there we have the serious side effects of Lisa and brownies. Oh, bless her. It's not having any effect. It's not I've always thought that about cannabis, so I just don't think it. And then you get the idiots giving it it's a gateway drug to becoming a heroin addict. Fucking hell, you've jumped a bit.
Well, so vaping is the gateway to people smoking.
Well, yeah, if you believe that.
was going to say, sat over there are 6 boxes of codeine.
Yep.
Grind it up. It's heroin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so that's what you've been doing with it. Whitby's local
But-
drug dealer. Look.
No, that's what I'm prescribed every month.
But that
So
codeine is a hell of a lot more dangerous than cannabis.
Cannabis.
Mm.
I had it separated from cocodamol to codeine and paracetamol as a separate drug.
Yes, the
allow
paracetamol
me
does
to-
all the damage.
Yeah, to allow me to use a higher dose of codeine.
Mm.
Yeah, paracetamol is fucking lethal.
Yeah.
On your stomach. Right, as we are at 2 hours,
Yeah.
shall we call it a evening?
Yeah,
We'll call it
dispose.
a Sunday evening.
Mm-hmm.
As Tyler is now going to go and do chemistry, or as he likes to call it, dinner, with his plastic teeth. Whoever wants to start will say goodbyes. An evening.
Don't worry, Matt. Matt, you can come over anytime and I'll make you dinner.
Oh. Bill is threatening me.
Mm.
In that case,
Go
you
on.
go first. Tyler.
Thank you, Bill. Well, as always, guys, had a good show. We had a lovely time waffling on about everything and anything under the sun, but you know what? That's what makes it a good time.
It's dark here. There's no sun.
Hey, it's not my fault you're on the wrong side of the planet, okay?
At least we're driving the correct side of the road.
I'm telling you, you're not doing things right, man. There's no reason left-hand turn should be that easy.
Come on, President Stalin.
Oh. But yeah, thanks everybody for being here. We do appreciate it. We appreciate, the feedback and chat and everything from all you guys. And that's all I really got this week. Bill, you want to say your goodbyes?
Yeah, it's been a good show. We've actually, with little waivers, we've stayed on topic for a lot of it. Yeah, hang on a minute. There's something wrong, isn't there?
I can see your point.
We stayed on topic. No, it's been a good show and I've enjoyed it. And the Facebook group's always there. You can get hold of any of us normally. And just have a really good week. Enjoy the sun if we get some. And over to you, Craig.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. Yeah, as Bill says, the group's there if anyone's struggling. There's always one of us around. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. As usual, good amount of banter as usual. And yeah, hope everyone can join us again next week. Usual time, 8:30. And come join us. That's all I can really say. Apart from echo what everyone's saying. Pass that on to Matt then.
Yeah, not a bad show. That's 2 hours wasted. Hopefully there's some useful information in there. Facebook groups there, chats are there. If you want us, most of us are you know where to find us. So I hope everybody does have a good week in the upcoming week, whatever you might be doing. And if you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, don't get caught. Tyler will probably be back next week unless the CIA catch up with him for his communist activities.
Let's keep that on the DL, okay?
His communist activities with spray cheese.
Spray cheese.
So yeah, that's all from us, and we'll see you next week, guys. So yeah. See you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.